Welcome everyone, I'm DarkHour717. I hope everybody had the opportunity to enjoy CitizenCon or at least get a chance to check out their favorite panels. Of course, with CitizenCon, we usually see a new ship or concept announced, and this year was really no different. Before we get started though, hit and like the subscribe button and also follow on Twitch and stick around till after the video to find out how you can win one of the new ships that was released at CitizenCon. So this year at CitizenCon, we saw the introduction of the Origin 400i and the Anvil Liberator. The Liberator being a concept ship, and the 400i being a straight-to-flyable, which has already taken flight in the Wave 1 PTU. Now, the 400i is what we're going to be discussing today, and whether it's something you really should consider upgrading to or pledging for. The current options for the 400i are as follows. War bond for $220 US, which actually includes the Penumbra paint, a standalone ship purchase at $250 US, or the availability of a standard or war bond CCU, or what they call a cross-chassis upgrade. Neither of these actually include the paints along with it. Now, as stated at CitizenCon, this is supposedly a competitor for the RSI Constellation class vessels. This is truly a poor description and intended purpose if that was their true goal. Let's look at these side by side, and I'm going to compare it to the Connie Taurus, which is the beginning level of Constellation, only because if I put it up against the Aquila, which is the exploration variant, it's probably going to be a little bit more embarrassing. With the 400i, its role is exploration, and its length is 56 meters, where the Connie is 70 meters. The beam is 32 meters. Connie's a little slimmer at 27 3/4 meters. The height is 12.5 meters, and on the Connie you got 15.25 meters. So size-wise, different, but not too far off. They're both classified as a large vessel, but the whole HP on the 400i is 80,500. And on the Connie Taurus, it's 128,344, which is a 62% increase over the 400i. And when you go to the Aquila, it's 181,344, which is more than double what the 400i offers. Top SEM speed, actually the 400i is a little bit faster at 185 versus the Connie's 144 meters per second. And of course, afterburner speed is faster at 1,250 meters per second versus the afterburner speed of 911 meters per second for the Connie. But we all know the Connie is not a speed demon. Your crew size is going to be 1 to 3 people on the 400i, and of course 1 to 4 people on the Connies. So getting into the components, we're going to see a little more similarity here. With the shields, they each have a single size 3 grade C shield generator. The 400i has a civilian grade C, where the Connie has the industrial grade C. The power plants, you're going to have actually one more power plant on the 400i with 3 size 2s, which are grade Bs, and only 2 size 2 industrial grade Cs on the Connie. The coolers, they're going to have 3 size 2 snowfalls, which are industrial grade Bs on the 400i, and 2 size 2 cool core industrial, which is a grade C over on the Connie. And of course, they each have a single quantum drive size 2. Of course, the Torrent versus the Bolin, the Torrent is going to have a slightly smaller range at 414 million kilometers versus the Connie's 459 million kilometers. And their Olisar to Hurston times are going to be vastly different, with almost a 3-minute increase in time going to the Connie over the 400i. And once you get up to Olisar to Microtech, that difference is actually stretched out to almost 5.5 minutes time difference in your quantum travel. Gun-wise, there's no comparison. The 400i has 2 gimbaled size 3 CF337s controlled by the pilot, with 2 dual size 3 CF337 remote turrets. Its missile complement is going to be a total of 32, which is going to be 16 size 2 Strike Force 2 missiles and 16 size 1 marksman missiles. Over on the Connie, you're going to have a vastly different loadout that packs a lot more punch. The guns are going to be 4 gimbaled size 4 CF447 Rhino repeaters. Your turrets are actually 2 dual size 2 CF227 Badger repeaters. And missile complements a little bit less. You have 24 size 2 Strike Force 2 missiles. Now, the one benefit to the 400i, it will have the expanded scanning array equipped, and it also has a cargo capacity of 42 SCU. Now, the Aquila for the Constellation class, they're also going to have scanning capabilities as well, too. It's 174 SCU, though, for the Connie, but that's not fair to compare that because it is a cargo ship. The Aquila is going to have 96 SCU, and that's still more than double what the 400i offers. Support vehicle capabilities, well, with the 400i, you're really limited to just a Tumbril Cyclone. Either going to be a base or an RC. None of the ones with turrets are going to fit in there. You can get a PTV on there as well as the X1 hover bike. Now, there's no capability to load a rock or a rock DS due to the height. We actually tried to load an Apoa Nox into the bike storage, but it actually failed to stay in place and fell out. And of course, the Dragonfly is going to be too long. With the Connie, no matter what variant you go with, you've got a plethora of different support vehicles that you can take with you. The cargo bays, with the exception of the Phoenix, are big enough to hold Cyclones, Ursas, PTVs, bikes. You also have, on a number of the Connies, you have, of course, that Parasite ship with the Merlin or the Archimedes, which, of course, the Archimedes is going to be on the Phoenix class. But again, a wide range of support vehicles that you can use in your exploration. As you can see, the differences are more like comparing apples to oranges. The 400i itself is truly a gorgeous and beautiful ship. It has unique appearance with its slick lines and front needle-like shape coming to a barb. This does, as I mentioned, support the storage of an Origin X1 hover bike in the front fuselage using its own floating elevator, though it's inaccessible from inside the ship. Not a really big deal there. As you enter the main staircase via the switches on the front landing gear, though, you enter into a forward compartment where you're going to find the docking collar as well as the gravity drive. Moving back, finding the component rooms on each side as well as the elevator to the upper floor. If you go past this, you're going to enter into the main cargo bay and escape pod area. This area does have a smaller ceiling limit and again limited clearance for vehicles, though your standard Cyclone will fit snugly into place. Once you go up to the second level, you're going to find the crew quarters with room for 2 crew with amenities, and across the hall the captain's quarters with all that is needed for somebody to run the ship. Further toward the rear of the ship, we're going to find a cozy mess and galley area with a rear tactical table for mission planning. As we proceed forward, we make our way onto the bridge that does give an ample amount of space for 1 pilot seat and 2 support seats. These are also going to control the rear upper and lower remote turrets. Visibility is endless in the pilot house as the typical Origin wide view front window wraps around the bridge completely. Overall, the ship itself is extremely stunningly beautiful. As for its handling, well, that really leaves something to be desired, as even at this point CIG has acknowledged and announced they are going to be working on tuning its controls and maneuverability in time for an update in patch 3.15 when it goes live. In its current state, it feels largely more like a freelancer than anything else. The current setup is slow in atmosphere, and once up in space does improve, though when trying to work some smaller bounties, the turning speed was painfully slow. Its stock quantum drive leaves much to be desired, but that's not surprising as it is set up more for fuel efficiency than speed. At first look, I believe an average pilot would have a higher expectation in handling than what it actually provides. So it's going to be interesting to see how or what improvements are made when 3.15 launches into the live PU. Now don't get me wrong, I actually pledged the 400i, and I pledged it as soon as they announced it on CitizenCon, and I actually do enjoy it. I actually think it's a great ship for me personally, though with a few flaws. And what changes they make are really going to determine whether I decide to hold on to it or if I decide to CCU it or melt it for something else. But being this is an objective review, the honest facts are I don't believe this will be for everyone. Though stated this is a competitor for the Connie class ship, the truth is that it does not really live up to that expectation. I would be stretching even thinking this is a close competitor for the MSR. Its actual capabilities lie more in the realm of competing against vehicles more like the Cutlass Black in the Freelancer series. It's got a low SCU capacity, limited support vehicle space, but still it maintains that multi-crew capability. As comparison shows against even the basic Connie, there really is no competition. If you're a citizen that is looking for your end-all be-all exploration ship without going as high as the Carrack, then I would actually pass on this, as you're going to get all the same functions for less price going with something like the Freelancer. On top of that, you can also meet all the same criteria and more with the simple Cutlass Black. Now, if you're someone with a larger fleet with other exploration vehicles and haulers and are more in it for the style and clean lines of the ship, or you're just a fan of Origin, then it's definitely worth the pledge. And for those who are unsure in any way, I think this is better reserved for an in-game purchase once it's implemented in a future patch. or at a minimum, get your hands on one from a friend or an org member and try it out before you buy it. I hope you found this review helpful, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as well as follow over on Twitch. Get your entries in for October's giveaway, in which we're actually going to be giving away an Origin 400i with all the paints available for it. And that's going to be going to one lucky winner on November 1st. If you get your entries in, just comment on this or any other video on YouTube, or follow on Twitch, and heck, if you do both, you're going to be doubling your chances because you'll get an entry for each. Remember, you can always catch our stream every Sunday and Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. The link for that is going to be in the description below. Also, for all our channel members here on YouTube, keep an eye out for more information about our upcoming members-only stream coming on 23rd of October at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to help support the channel, check out the members page on YouTube, and you too can also participate in this monthly event. It's going to be for members only, and we're going to be streaming it over on YouTube. You can also head over to the Patreon page for other great packages, or check out the merch store. A lot of great items over there. I want to thank you again for all the support from everybody, and we're going to catch you next time.